more news that we're tracking very closely. Maritime movements through one of the world's most critical energy corridors has begun to normalize, with an India-linked LNG carrier successfully completing its transit through Strait of Hormuz. The vessel, identified as Disha, an LNG carrier managed a consortium led by the Shipping Corporation of India, safely passed through the strait on Monday, carrying over 62,000 tons of liquefied natural gas. The ship, which is Malta flagged, had departed from Ras Laffan in Qatar on March 2nd and is now expected to arrive at the Dahej terminal on June 18th. According to official sources from the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, a total of 15 vessels, including 10 Indian flagged and 5 foreign flagged ships, have already successfully crossed the Strait of Hormuz. Out of the remaining 34 India-bound vessels still in transit or waiting in the region, 16 are carrying fertilizers, a crucial input for agriculture that is expected to help strengthen domestic supply chains once delivered. Let's now take a look at the 34 ships and some of the details about them. We'll quickly give you some more details on that, but for now, of course, what we are tracking is the story about Disha and what's happened over there. Before we do that, we have Commodore D.S. Sodhi, former Navy officer, who's joining us on the broadcast. So thank you for your time speaking to us on NewsX. What exactly do you make of the developments that have taken place, especially when it comes to Disha, and of course it giving hope to the 34 other ships as well?
Well, this development is a very welcome development for India, and not only for India but for the whole globe. You see, so far as this transit of the ships through Hormuz and their passage to India, it's a very important scenario which has now happened. The ships are not only carrying, you see, LPG or oil, but they would also be carrying the fertilizers for India, and that's a very important commodity which, as of now, which is required in India, because you have the requirement for the agriculture sector for these fertilizers. And all I have to say is that the memorandum of understanding which has been signed by Iran and US, this is something really great which has happened because this conflict was going from bad to worse. But now, since we have a memorandum, one can say that the conflict is going to end. Almost, I mean, I can say that the conflict is over as of now. So for India, it's a very welcome development, and we all appreciate this development. And one looks forward to the energy flow, that is the oil, LPG, as well as the fertilizers from the Persian Gulf to India.
Right, absolutely. So I request your patience because I quickly want to take our viewers to some of the details that matter a lot. Let's put out my touchpad so that we can tell our viewers more about it. And these are the 34 ships in question, the 34 India-bound ships awaiting safe passage through Hormuz. The details, of course, there on your screens. The first being the crude oil tankers, the LPG carriers and the LNG tankers is what we are talking about. Let's give you the details on that. What are they carrying? What's very important? 1.67 million tons of crude oil. Group shipment estimates is what these numbers are essentially reflecting. 1 to 2 million barrels of per PLCC, which is a very large crude carrier, is what we know. What are they carrying? More on that front. As far as LPG is concerned, around 321,000 tons of identified shipments, which is in combined groups. When it comes to LNG, around 215,000 tons, which is a group estimated in key convoy set. The 16 vessels are carrying fertilizer cargo. This is a critical input for the Indian agriculture, and these are details that we're tracking as far as those 34 ships are concerned. So again, those are the details that we're tracking. The hope that comes with Disha making a move. So those are the details that we have on that front. Commodore DSO continues to be with us on the broadcast. And sir, I'd like to understand from you, now that we've put out the details of what these 34 ships are carrying, including 1.67 million tons of crude oil, how significant does the safe passage then become, and what could be the bigger impact when it goes through?
See, so far as the type of, like you talked about the oil, you talked about LPG, you have spoken about the, for the agriculture sector, we have the fertilizers which are going to be coming from this, on these tankers. Yes, this is very important for us. It's going to make things stable in the country. Now, with regard to the safety of the passage of these ships is concerned, the moment they cross the Persian Gulf and come into the, Arabian Sea, then maybe the naval ships, Indian Navy ships may escort them, till the ports. That is a possibility, but I think there may not be any requirement of even the escorting of these ships is concerned, because now I don't think there is any threat to this movement of these ships. So all we can say is that, again, it's a very welcome development which has happened and very, very crucial to our country as well as to the whole of the globe. Once again, very, very, very welcome development for all of us.
Right, sir, absolutely. I request you to